Chauncelor Howell holds a master's degree in management and specializes in homeland security. He is a retired Marine, drill instructor who is very active in his service fraternity and is a member of the Guardians of River Park. Thanks for your service, sir.
Welcome to Decision 2016. It's a collaborative effort between the League of Women Voters of St. Lucie County, WPSL Radio, and SLC TV. And now, seen everywhere. We are here to meet the candidates for Port St Lucie City Council District 2. District 2 in Port St Lucie is on the northwest side. It's bordered by Midway to the north, Gatlin to the south, east to Cashmere and Del Rio, west to Tradition, and the new growth area past Glades Cutter. What qualifications do you bring to the Port St Lucie City Council? Mr. Howell.
Thank you. Simply put, ladies and gentlemen, I bring forth a new style of leadership, vision, and direction. I believe a culmination of my experience in the Marine Corps, my world travel, and formal education affords me to be the candidate of choice for this election in this particular seat to lead us out of the ruins that we are in right now. I believe that this is all about leadership, and that is a culmination of, or the sum of those qualities of intellect, human understanding, and moral character that enables a person to lead a group of people successfully. Those things I think I embody in my daily life, and I think it would be nothing short of an asset to the City Council of Port St Lucie. Thank you.
What is your vision for the city? Mr. Howell?
Yes, I would like to first and foremost start with Crosstown. Simply put, you have to ascertain with the influx of people moving here at, as been stated, 2% per year. If you double that, you're going to have an overflow. But right now, as we speak, we only have 2 arteries that travel east and west to US 1. So let's start with the basics right now. I moved here in 2006, and Crosstown was being discussed. Let's go ahead and address that first before we get to the housing aspect. Let's get that so those other businesses that are considering moving here, because it is affordable housing. We are strategically located between Miami, South Florida, let's encompass West Palm Beach and South Beach and everything south of us, and 2 hours south of Orlando. So that being said, it's imperative that we prepare right now from a strategic standpoint and get the roads put in place so that during the season when the Mets are here, it doesn't take 3 hours to get down St. Lucie West. Let's start there first.
Port St. Lucie has always had a good record fighting crime. It's been called the safest city of its size in the country. What is your vision to keep it that way?
Yes, I think that the Port St. Lucie Police Department is doing a fine job. Let me start there. There is stability there, starting with the chief. And also the other moves that I see that they're making is in diversity. When I visited with the chief 2 years ago, there were approximately less than 10 people of color on the police department. It's imperative that the police department is made up of the community that it is policing. So it has to have some representation across the board to include gender. So I believe that they're doing a fine job in light of what happened 2 weeks ago. That is something that was out of their hands. At any rate, continued success with the pattern that they're on.
Mr. Howell, you talked about the growth spurts of this city. What would you do to ensure that our future development is not going to really be a burden on taxpayers?
Well, first and foremost, we surely need to learn from our past mistakes. I think, and not to Monday morning quarterback anything, but we are still feeling the brunt of digital domain, city center, Torrey Pines, so forth and so on. So we need to learn from those mistakes, and perhaps we need to implement the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. We saw what happened with Enron, Tyco, Arthur Anderson. Those mandates should be trickled down here to protect the stakeholders. The main stakeholders are the taxpayers. And there are a lot of people out there right now that are being taxed without representation. So it's imperative that we have audit systems in place to learn from our mistakes, to see where it's necessary to cut. A lot of people use the term fiscally responsible, but they use it loosely, and there's no accountability, and it's almost like a shell game. So it's imperative that the people who are elected, the public servants on the council, ensure that they hold those department heads accountable to ensure that there is no fraud, waste, and abuse that's taking place. That, until things of that nature takes place, we will continue to have the result that we have right now. That, I can assure you, won't happen under my watch.
Our next question about the debt in Port St Lucie. We'll start with Mr. Joseph. What do you see as the impact, the short-term impact of the debt that Port St Lucie currently faces, and manage the future debt? Mr. Howell.
Yes, when we talk about budgets and where we are right now, we have to look at best practices and what we've done in the past and how we got here. And it goes back to the O acronym. What are our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? And you have to address the fiscal debacle that we've had in the past with that same approach. In light of the world that we live in today, when you talk of first responders, so I'm talking about the police department, the fire department falls under the county level, so that's out of the city's realm there. We have to ensure that they are taken care of and they have what is necessary to keep us safe, first and foremost. Secondly, we have to, again, and I'm not after any particular department head, but we have to look at the best practices. What is it that we have done? What is it that we're doing right now? And does this thing called fraud, waste, and abuse, is that a part of the equation why we're not able to save money? The last element of that is you have to put this in layman's terms. We, and those of us who become elected officials or public servants, we have to be able to get buy-in from those stakeholders, not stockholders, but the stakeholders who is that single parent that's out there who's struggling from payday to payday. We have to get buy-in from them before we move forward.
Time now for the closing statements, and let's begin. Mr. Howell.
Thank you, League of Women Voters. Having proudly served our country, I'm ready to serve you as Councilman District 2 of the city of Port St Lucie, Florida. With 20 years in the United States Marine Corps, including tours as a senior drill instructor, molding future Marines, and business acumen I acquired while working for FedEx Ground as a Florida Region Human Resources representative, I am eager and qualified to serve as your ambassador for our great city. We have so many wonderful assets. I want to lead the charge to attract new high-tech industry, career-oriented jobs, and a major university to the city of Port St Lucie. Now is the time for our city council to proceed in new directions and learn from our past mistakes, such as the collapse of digital domain and the unrealized potential of City Center, Torrey Pines, and VGTI. There are limitless possibilities in the Southern Grove area, south of Tradition, and other parts of the city where infrastructure is already in place. As the fastest growing city in the Treasure Coast, Port St Lucie has it all. It is most deserving of a public servant who never loses sight of the welfare of his or her constituents. Under my leadership, we will collectively ascertain ways that will augment ideas derived from our greatest asset of the city, our citizens. With your support, I promise to serve our city with honor, courage, and commitment. I'm an open book and will work for you to make our city the best that we can be. I humbly ask for your support in my quest to become District 2 Councilman for a new Port St. Lucie. Vote August 30th, Port St. Lucie City Council, District 2, Chauncelor Howell. Thank you kindly.
Okay, thank you.